Hi guys, different type of video today. I wanted to talk about the press release that came out on the 24th of February because I think we, as a community that plays Shatterpoint, need to take a look at this and think about it. I know that this came out and a lot of people had a lot of feelings about it, and I did too. And I think that as a player base, those feelings are probably justified in some ways. There is a lot of fear, a lot of frustration, and I want to talk about that. Before we jump into this, though, I do want to say there's more surrounding this than, of course, all of us know. The thing I want to point out, I guess, first is this may not have had an impact on what happened to the employees, but it came out at the same time, and a lot of AMG employees were laid off yesterday. Maybe part of this, maybe not. We don't know. That's corporate things that Asmodee probably is dealing with. But keep in mind, this is going to impact the game that we love and play, but there's other things going on within Atomic Mass Games that impact people a lot more personally than this. So as much as this, may not be something that we want to happen to the game that we love, there's real world consequences that are taking place for other people out there revolving around in the same space as this game. So I keep that in mind going forward, is like that, and to put things in perspective, that yes, there is. It's maybe not the best, but there are other things that could be much worse. So I wanted to take a look, though, at this press release that came out yesterday. Basically, it talks about how Asmodee today is announcing some strategic focuses, and there's several key game lines. AMG is going to focus support on its flagship titles and realign resources towards these priorities, involving adjustments to the studio's organizational structure as part of restructuring the studio. They should now be led by co-heads of studio Will Schick and Brandon Anderson. So now, yes, we will still have Will Schick, but it looks like there's going to be another person leading the studio as well. For the games that remain active, this may be a good thing, because now you have two people to fill those shoes of being head of studio. And I mean, Will Schick did an admirable job during a lot of this. I mean, he at one point in time was the head of studio when they had 5 games going on simultaneously, which had to be a lot on his plate. So I'm sure that there's a lot. This is probably a good thing there. The thing is a stronger focus on flagship games, and it recognizes the flagship title games as Star Wars Legion and Marvel Crisis Protocol, and it's allowing them to take a deeper focus on those games. And this is, I think, the part that really kind of puts a little bit of fear into people. It says, as part of the realignment, Atomic Mass Games' Star Wars Shatterpoint product line will be transitioning into a specialist core game line. What that means has not been told to us at this point in time. Could that be a good thing? It may. It may just mean that we get focused releases, where we get releases at structured times. We get structured updates. Who knows? But it does say, as a specialist game, Shatterpoint will continue to be supported to ensure consistent availability and the highest level of gameplay experience possible by AMG, while streamlining the number of releases to align with restructured development resources of the studio. So Atomic Mass Games is still going to be involved with this, just in a different way. It's not going to get the focus of the flagship games, which are Legion and MCP. But it says that I don't read that that's a dead game, but there are some people that have read it that way. This announcement goes on to really talk about Legion and MCP, and not really anything more about Shatterpoint. That little blurb there is about all that we have. So that led to a lot of comments on Facebook, a lot of Discord conversations taking place that I think, again, need to be talked about. And I needed to give myself time to sleep on this before I actually made any comments. Really, I wasn't that optimistic at first. I think I let the comments out there really dictate my feelings. And let's be honest, if you've read through any of the comments on some of the Facebook posts, there was not there was some things that were probably a little disheartening. There was some negative comments that really, for people that love this game, probably shouldn't have been reading. It's funny. I remember when I got deployed to Iraq the second time. My second deployment was during my marriage, and I told my wife, don't go on the news, don't watch the news, don't read the comments on social media. It's just going to make things worse. And I think, this is very different, but I think this is the same. We don't know everything going on. We're not experiencing what's happening within the Atomic Mass Game Studios, so we don't know what all of this means. I would say I have hope based off of the line that we will continue to get support and the highest level of gameplay experience possible by AMG. That gives us hope with that line there that this may continue. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. It's maybe another announcement will come soon. But going back to the comments, let's try and remain positive. If you like this game, it's not going away. You still have all the models to play. You can still find ways to play the game. I'll still be playing this game with friends at my game store until people no longer want to play the game with me. And that's fine. That's going to be it. So I guess I wanted to talk about what is this mean? And I think the first reaction, worst case scenario is the sky is falling. And the game is dead. They're killing it. It's going to go away just like X-Wing, just like Armada. Is that the case? We don't know. But again, But I would say that, the X-Wing community still has games going on. There's a World Championship that's going to take place at Adepticon this year. So in 4 weeks from the time of this recording, there's going to be a World Championship for X-Wing. The game has continued, at least for this year, after Atomic Mass Games and Asmodee stopped production on it. There's 2 groups that keep that game up and running, and they have large events, not necessarily in the United States, but I know in Europe there's a lot of events happening. In Canada, they've had some large events. So the game can survive if the community wants that. And again, I'm not saying that that's even going to be the case. We may continue to get support from AMG well after this. We know that this GT season will continue to have support, and that we have a World Championship at least this year. What happens after that, again, is going to rely a lot on the community. People like maybe myself, people like the crew at Rogue Support, the crew up in Canada, from Sean Piccone and his guys over at Coordinated Fire, people like Omnis that run events up in the Pacific Northwest, as well as the guys from Two Sprues and the stuff that they do. I don't know, Zion's Finest. They might continue to run events as well. You never know. There's a lot of us that will probably continue to play this game, love this game. And if you really want to love this game and continue to play it, you know what? There's going to be spaces that people reach out to the people around, and I bet you we will work to try and accommodate a gameplay. At this point in time, LVO is still probably happening. I don't see that anyone from Frontline Gaming coming out saying that they're not going to support this game or to allow for the space for the game to be played. If people come and buy the tickets, they're going to sit there and run the events. They are businesses. So if we sit there and continue to support the game and play the game is going to sit there and be around. So I would just say, let's take the approach of wait and see until we have more information. And we'll get more information as it goes. It's even if that information is not positive, we can move forward with knowing that we've had a good time playing this game. I started this podcast, the first episode that I had done by myself, came out on March 13th of 2023. So almost exactly 3 years ago was the first episode of Momentous Struggle. And I think it was a good run. We had a good time playing this game. I won't regret ever playing this game. And you know what? As I said, I'm going to continue to play this game. I'm going to continue to enjoy it. I know Aubrey and I will continue to meet up and play the game, and we'll have fun playing it. And I'm going to go to the store tonight and put my miniatures on the table, roll some dice, because we're still running our league. And I think that's kind of the approach that you need to take if you really want to continue to this game, is enjoy it, have fun playing it, and just wait and see what happens. Again, like I said, you can definitely reach out to me and talk. I'm going to, like I said, continue to enjoy the game as much as I can. And I hope you guys do too. And take the time to have the joy of the game while it's here. You know, things go away. They don't last forever. But we can sit there and enjoy this for what it's worth. And I hope you do for as long as you can. If as long as you enjoy playing it, you keep on picking up those minis, keep rolling those dice. And I like it. Just wanted to come in here and maybe talk a little bit about it, get my feelings out, because I have the platform to do so. So I appreciate it if you did stick around and listen. But I hope everyone has a good time, and I hope to see you guys at Adepticon, at least this year, and maybe in the future. We'll see what happens. Thanks again, guys. Bye.